Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the 15th GoldFire Studios Fireside Chat.
Check out the fire.
Which almost got distinguished right before we started up by Luke over here, but gotta be careful with these fires. Dangerous. So a lot has been going on. Obviously, we launched the Casino RPG beta 2 weeks ago tomorrow, which we were talking about at the last broadcast. So when we left you from the last broadcast, we did not leave the office until, I don't know what,
It was like
4 or 5
the next day. Yeah.
Yeah. So we were loaded up on Red Bull and snacks and whatnot. Went and grabbed a pizza from down the street and just coded until the launch. And then there was bugs, obviously, and we were plowing through those, which is mostly what we've been doing for the last 2 weeks, is clearing out a lot of bugs. We've cleared out well over 100 bugs. The game is much more stable now than when it first launched.
We still have a few more to work on,
Right.
but significantly.
There's a lot to go still. We're obviously still in the first round of beta testing. For those of you that are in the second round, the rest of the Kickstarter backers, be sure to watch your emails over the next few weeks, as we'll be bringing you all in as well, and then we'll be announcing a timeline after that to start bringing in people from the waiting list. So, Luke, how about you talk a little bit about the AIs that you've been working on here recently?
The people that are in the beta right now, probably later this week or next week, more likely next week, you might notice some kind of artificial people popping into the world, and they will be, I think some of the ones you saw from our Kickstarter video and our trailer, they're kind of dumb AIs. They kind of just walked inside a door, or they walked out of casinos into another casino, and then they vanished.
And they didn't actually go inside, they were just thin air poof.
Yeah, they poofed and then they appeared at another casino and walked between them. So they're more of a visual AI to give the city more of a feel like there's actually people in it. Well, the new AIs are actually going to walk inside of casinos, use slot machines, walk out to do anything. They'll have behaviors. They're going to be kind of simple at first. The first version, they'll probably just walk into your casino, use a slot machine, and then go find another casino that has a slot machine and use that one. In the future, we'll expand upon that. They might be hanging out in parks. Even some of you might be able to get missions from, and they might play poker, do things like that. So they become more and more advanced as we go on. But the next batch will actually go in your casino, actually play slots, and that's pretty much all they'll do. But.
And these won't be, while they're smarter than what we had before, they still won't be dumb AIs as compared to maybe what you see in other games. I mean, these AIs are going to have names, personalities, things like that. It's going to be a really cool setup and really bring this, open world tycoon aspect to life. So we're excited for you all to try that out.
One of the things I'd like to do after they start playing games and we get that down is actually to have some of them to be kind of thugs or troublemakers. So if you hire guards in your casino, you might, since they have names, they each have personalities, each district or each zone is going to be populated by a certain population of these guys. So you might recognize them. If you leave the game and come back later, you'll probably recognize the same ones coming into your casino and using it. You might recognize the ones that are troublemakers, and so you might want to hire security when you see them pop in for that reason. But you'll see things like that.
And in addition to all the bug fixes, and by the way, for those of you that are in the beta right now, thanks for all the feedback you've been submitting, especially on the user voice feedback page. We've gotten well over 100 things submitted there, bugs and new ideas that we've been just feverishly implementing into the game, and a lot more to go through there. But please keep submitting the feedback. It's really helpful. Some other things we've been working on are just general polish of the game, updating visuals. A lot of the art has been updated. Lane's been doing an awesome job really polishing over some of the buildings and casino items and things like that. And we've been updating menus and just general gameplay flow. So there's a lot more of that's going to go on, as well as additions of new features and more content as we move through this beta. So that's a quick update about what's been going on in the last few weeks. We've got a video lined up here. It doesn't have any footage from the game. It's It's basically, we got some TV, we got a TV interview recently, so we'll be showing parts of that as well as some more behind the scenes footage from us working here in the office, as well as we've got a guest here that we'll be bringing over shortly after the video, one of our interns who's been doing some awesome stuff with 3D art, and you'll see a little bit of that in the video. Oh, and one other thing, show you, we also got a magazine feature showing off that, you know, there's a lot of excitement around Casino RPG. You probably aren't going to be able to see this very well, but it's a pretty nice little article we got here. If I can bring it up to the screen.
Hey, there's Swizzler. Say it
Basically focusing on our Kickstarter and how it's actually the first successful Kickstarter for a video game in Oklahoma City. So, okay, let's watch this video.
By creating games that can be played on those platforms as well as smartphones, tablets, and game consoles.
Basically, it's an open world multiplayer game.
James Simpson and Luke Simpkins are a rarity, at least for now. They're Oklahoma-based video game developers. Most of the industry's U.S.-based companies are in California or Texas. Simpson and Simpkins' newest game is set to launch next week.
Oh, I just won a bunch of chips.
Casino RPG is an online role-playing game.
So you'll start with this little base casino.
The game lets players build and run all aspects of a casino, right down to the cleaning crew.
We're building this game with just 2 programmers and 1 full-time artist and a few contract artists.
Simpson started GoldFire Studios in Oklahoma City to create video games when he got his first computer at age 14.
GoldFire Studios is a sort of next-generation social game studio and publisher. We've built a social gaming platform that's for real-time community-based gameplay.
Just the type of platform expected to see strong growth in the video gaming world over the next 5 years.
So we've got 2 games right now, Poker RPG and BC Wars, and those are on our game platform. So our main strategy moving forward is the platform strategy. And what I mean by platform is it's sort of a destination where players can go to play our games and eventually other third-party developers' games.
Simpson and Simpkins want to keep their business in Oklahoma, and they want to see the state's infant game development field grow. So they've created Oklahoma's game developer meetups. These photos are from its inaugural event a few weeks ago.
Okay, so we're looking at the old one-star casino in 3ds Max. And now let's see what it looks like now.
Like the Game Developer Meetup, the Expo's goal is to give current and aspiring video game developers a place to share their games while getting to know others who share their passion.
Okay, so I hope you all could hear that. Don't see any comments in the chat, but yeah, so most of that video was from a little segment we had on news here recently, and it's talking about some of the things we're doing here in Oklahoma, starting up Oklahoma Game Developer Meetup, which we had our second meeting for that. What was that, two Thursdays ago?
Yeah.
Right after the
right.
launch. So we're doing a lot of different things in the community, trying to build game development locally. I guess the rest of it, you saw Michaela working on the One Star Casino in 3ds Max. It's pretty cool stuff showing off the 3D that we've got behind the game as well. So I guess, let's go ahead and bring Michaela up.
All right, I'll get up and let Michaela sit down.
Got a few questions, sort of similar to the interview we did. I guess that was probably 2 live streams ago with Matt. So Michaela has been intern here at GoldFire since January, February?
Interviewed on January 31st, so it's
Okay,
February
so
something.
February. Okay, let's just dive in here. I got a few questions. So I guess just in general, basically, what have you been working on here at GoldFire Studios for the last few months?
Generally, I work on rendering the lights, or setting up the lights in the 3D environments, and then I set up a standard camera and render out all the angles for the buildings. As you saw in the video, I was creating the One Star Casino. That's the first casino that I've actually made myself. The other ones I've just re-rendered from the previous creator.
Yeah, and so we had actually had, as you probably saw in the previous, like the original trailer, we had those original buildings. They needed some more work done on them. They needed to be all rendered from the same camera viewpoint and lighting fix and things like that. So Michaela's done some awesome work on that. How about a little bit?
I did the tiled.
Yeah,
just
talk
did
a
the
little bit
basics.
about the map you worked on.
Oh, all of the district maps. I've worked on those in tiled. I didn't know that program when I started up, so I learned that one pretty quick. So all of the districts, the maps that you're running around in, I made the world.
Yeah, in Casino RPG, yeah. So there's actually, so basically the map is split up into big districts made with tiles, 65 by 65, and we've got 40 different districts. So there was a lot of work that needed to be done to lay out those districts. And as Matt talked about at the last meeting, he actually sketched out those original designs, but we still had to manually go in and create those to be imported into the game.
Those were fun to make. I enjoyed those a lot.
So I guess what have you learned or gained out of the experience here at GoldFire?
Well, when I started up, my 3D skills were pretty shaky. I mean, it took me forever to work on the first few until we figured out the cameras.
Yeah, the cameras were tricky.
Yeah. Well, so now I know how to set up the cameras for that, and I know 3ds Max a whole lot better than I did when I started out. And like I said, I know tiled now. That was fun. And I didn't know how to play poker before I started. So when we were play testing a few days ago, I learned how to play poker.
Nice. Yeah, that's a skill you need for sure. Excuse me. So I guess for anyone that's interested in 3D art, what kind of skills do you need to make 3D art? Like you use 3ds Max, what goes into that?
Like what do you mean? What goes into it?
Or just like how did you get started with that, and I guess what skills are required to create that type of thing?
You need a lot of computer skills, and you need the patience to sit there and mess with little vertexes and lines and faces and just move them around each one by each one until you get the right one you want.
Yeah.
It's a lot of patience, and let me see.
Did you just start it from school? Or?
Yeah, I just started working with it from school. We didn't have any real big art program. We had no computer art in my high school, so I started it up in college. Having drawing skills is handy, even in 3D skills. It's nice to know how to take something from your head and put it on paper. It's easier to translate it to a computer too.
Awesome. Anything else you want to talk to the community?
Not real sure. What I write on here. Not really. That's all I've pretty much
well,
had.
Thanks for joining us on our show tonight.
No problem. Guess
Luke,
I'll
you
let
wanna-
Luke come back here.
Right.
Come
Yeah, and by
back.
the way, so
Sure.
we're gonna do a Q&A session now, like usual. If you've got any questions for Michaela, feel free to
Oh yeah.
shout them out, and we'll bring her back over here.
Buildings are nice but too small.
Yeah. So about that, it's actually a technical limitation, unfortunately. I don't want to get too technical on it, but basically, the computer has a GPU that processes the graphics.
Yes.
And when the files get too large, which basically with those buildings, they're already pretty much maxing it out, the GPU is having to switch those in and out, especially with the animations, and basically it grinds to a halt when the images get really any bigger than the buildings are right now. So we're pretty much pushing the limit.
Well, just
as
like
it
any
is.
game, I mean, you can use your imagination a little bit to kind of scale
Yeah.
it. And, I mean, I think it kind of gives a fun perspective sometimes when the buildings, when the characters are a little bigger.
Yeah.
So,
And plus, if the buildings were much larger, you couldn't really see them. You know, you'd only see sections of them on the screen at the same time, and you could never really take in, you know, the art and the work that went into those buildings.
plus Casino RPG, you'd be spending half your time getting from place to place. Nobody wants a simulation of walking 5 miles through
Yeah.
New York City or through Las Vegas. They want to actually play casino games, so we want to kind of help you further along in the process. But items are too big. Sorry, we're not gonna. It's not. I think it's a decision we made a while back, and I think we're gonna have to stick with that one. I think we're actually of one thing though. We're actually increasing the doorway sizes so they actually do
Yeah.
match the characters.
Yeah, that's something Lane's working on right now. If you're in the beta, you've probably noticed some of the non-casino buildings getting updates, sort of painted over with additional details and things like that. Part of that is the doors getting redone and all sized the exact same. So that's something you'll see with the casinos over the next week or two.
And I mean, if you're concerned about not, you kind of like if you want to buy more items or something like that. I mean, we are in the future. You're going to be able to have multiple floors. The whole idea is for you to have multiple casinos, and also you might be able. I mean, eventually you'll probably want to purchase lots and not build a casino on them. Actually, maybe purchase a lot next to your current casino and turn it into a park or a nice little. I don't know. Get creative with it.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Landscaping.
a lot more items and landscaping things and whatnot moving forward. So what's on there right now is just sort of the base that we've got to work with during this early stages of the beta, but work's being constantly done on more things for content.
Thanks a lot, Billy. Really appreciate it. We're loving developing it, and we're going to be developing it for several years, I think. Chip stay along, just going to stop Mr. Payout. Yeah, I think the chips animation needs a little bit of tweaking. I caught it the other day running too long as well, so we'll probably shorten that up a little bit, Pim.
Yeah, these are all polished things that
Yeah.
we'll just sort of get ironed out as we go through the beta. And we need feedback like that to be able to iron all these things out. So please keep submitting to the feedback tab. That little, if you haven't seen it, it's the little orange tab on the.
Fire went out. Oh yeah, and those of you that are in the beta right now, you might see there's a new mission giver after we push the next update that's going to pop in every once in a while. He only appears under the right conditions, and he doesn't appear all the time, and he doesn't appear next to the other mission givers. So you might catch them sometime soon.
So Billy asked, "What's your opinion on having multiple casinos?" We, if you got the means, we definitely want you to purchase those and push the game to its limits. That's the only way we're going to find bugs and find issues and things that we need to improve. And there's plenty of space in the game right now. And a little further in the beta, the game map will be actually expanding automatically as the city grows, and people will get distributed in a smart fashion in different areas of the city. So it won't be necessary to have casinos right there at the center where you're getting dropped at the moment, because that's not how it'll be in the future.
I think in the future too, to keep people from kind of manipulating it and buying all of the good real estate, I think there's going to be some scaling and some balancing to like so that if you own a lot of land, taxes are going to raise on you, and it's going to be more expensive to buy your next plot of land. And that'll keep players from like later players coming in, and all the land's bought up and it's empty because someone just bought it all up.
And there'll also be a player-to-player market to where you can sell your real estate, you can sell your plots of land in the casinos on those to other players. So there's always access to the more premium regions or areas on districts.
That is a
yeah, that's something that's actually planned. There will be a more smooth process for getting the newer version. Just something we haven't had a chance to really flesh out yet with the limited time.
If anybody wants to talk about HTML5 technologies and app cache, we actually had to scrap our app cache, which actually did pretty much what you're talking about.
5 hours before the launch.
Yeah, but it turned into a nightmare because it's not documented well and it's a little tricky. So.
So does anyone have one of these yet? If you can see that? Yeah. The Oculus.
Oh yeah.
So, we'd love to have one here in the office. If anyone has an extra, feel free to send it our way. We'd love to have one at the office.
Actually, it's probably not a good idea.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we need to dedicate all our time to programming right now.
So scratch that. You could send it to my apartment though. Secretly. I just won't sleep. I'll just use it in the middle of the night.
Don't do that. I need James for all the UI design. I like to do all the functional program. James is really good at designing and coding, but I can't design, so I need you for that. So you can't do that. Perfect. Does advertising help at all right now? Casino advertising is going to be great, like expanded on a lot in the future. Right now, all it does, and this was just kind of a quick test version, is it's a 1-for-1 benefit for your popularity. But popularity right now is capped at 100. That cap at a popularity will probably be removed in the future, so you can rank your casino maybe have leaderboards, casino leaderboards, and that kind of stuff, so you could actually be ranked and have indefinitely increasing popularity. But right now, the advertising does increase your popularity, and it has a direct relationship with it. And popularity increases the number of people that come into your casino.
I did make that connection that you were B. Vieira.
Yeah, Billy Vieira. Yeah, get that one. Need a chip counter in case you have to leave.
Yeah, we've got that planned as well. That's on the feedback site. I think we marked that as planned.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Slotmaster. See,
so
my idea for the Slotmaster Quest 2 was, right now that's just a real simple quest, but Slotmaster I imagine in the future to be a chain of slots quests that actually, and eventually you might be able to earn a unique slot machine for your casino or something like that. So right now the Slotmaster is just kind of a real simple quest that we plan on expanding quite a bit. Billy. Oh well, Billy, I might actually be. I might send you a message then, because we actually app cache was working. It just got tricky because every once in a while it'd have like a random error and the game would refuse to load, and we didn't have time to mess with it. So I might ask you your opinion on it.
Love the lag.
We
need a lag timer.
Pin, is the casino editor still? What happens when it takes away the stuff you've already built? That concerns me slightly. And when was the last time it happened? Has it been a little while? Because I think I pushed out a bug I thought that would have fixed it since a couple days ago.
Well, he'll hear that 30 seconds from now.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
That actually, the update on that was actually pushed. Or has it been pushed out?
Which update?
Oh, I don't think that has been pushed.
Which one was that?
The update to all the menus. Or did we deploy? Have we deployed today?
No, we haven't deployed today.
Okay, that'll be the update for that. Will be coming a little while after this broadcast. So that's been updated. It's just not on the live server yet. I'm referring to the neon colors, the bright, hard to read colors yet.
Yeah, we're definitely, before we do the full launch, we'll need to figure out app cache. I don't want to say Chrome sucks because it's the one that runs Casino RPG the best so far, so I don't really want to insult it. Because Firefox runs Casino RPG at like half the speed of Chrome. Criminal would be cool, especially. I like that idea, Arthur. I think actually you might have seen a policeman pop up in the mission givers, like that avatar, or that kind of.
I don't think that's been pushed either. But
I thought I saw the policeman at
maybe
one
it is.
time.
Maybe
Yeah,
that
I
was
think
yesterday.
I think I've seen the policeman. You might have seen him pop up randomly with the mission givers. So we definitely have planned some police quests, and I also have a couple ideas for quests that allow you to do some criminal activities too. Maybe like pickpocket NPCs that are walking around the city. But we'll see.
Well, any other questions? Be happy to answer any questions about Casino RPG or Poker RPG, BC Wars, anything. Doesn't have to be related to our games either. Happy to talk about whatever.
Pin, I'll talk to you about the items disappearing after, probably off the live stream. Firefox is no good. I agree.
Yeah, unfortunately, Firefox is like the new Internet Explorer. That's what I like to
They're not
say.
that bad. I don't think they're that bad.
In my mind, it is.
Firefox is a little behind in HTML5 at least. I was actually pleasantly surprised when I found Casino RPG loaded up in IE9 without too much problem.
Yeah, I think
That's
it works better in
surprising.
Internet Explorer than. Although this summer Firefox will improve several things greatly, so be sure to, if you use Firefox, be sure to be updating it because they're pushing out a lot of new nice things that'll improve the game a lot, especially audio. Audio on Firefox right now is not very good.
Because they went their own technology. They use their own, yeah.
It'll be much better this summer. So, hopefully on time for the larger launch.
A wanted list at the police station. That's an interesting idea. That would actually be an interesting mission, is to go search for a wanted NPC. Andrew, if I know who was it? Is Animatic put a good idea for missions? If you want to put that on, add that onto his, and just throw it on as a comment when we actually start really pumping out missions and like turn our focus on missions, we will take a look at those. But he put a ticket on user voice for mission ideas.
Yeah, that's another thing. We've had great feedback getting submitted on User Voice, which if you don't know, User Voice is the feedback area. But you can also go and vote on other people's ideas, which is also really helpful to let us know what people see as most important and where we should be focusing the bulk of our time. So be sure to also go on there and give votes to ideas that you like as well.
Okay, customers and capacity, what effect does it have, if any? Yeah, we definitely have planned to have some help modals buried in the Tycoon. Each of those modals may eventually have a little question mark that you can click to kind of answer any questions you have. But customers right now is just the number of people that are visiting your casino, and capacity is the like how many of those customers you can actually service. So that if you put in a slot machine, that's going to increase your capacity. So what happens if your capacity goes over your customers? If you add another slot machine, it's not going to increase your profit until you increase your customers. And what actually increases your customer count is your casino status. Your popularity directly affects it. So just keep it clean, keep it secure, keep your employees happy. Employees happy is kind of hard right now, but the rest of those things. So try to increase your customer count.
So Andrew asked, will there be an option to use casino points to shorten time on placing objects? That's something we're looking at doing, yes. And he also asked, will closed beta players get invites to send out? So the second round, the rest of the Kickstarter backers that aren't in the beta right now will get access, and then after they've been in it for a little while, had their exclusive period, everyone that's in the game will be getting invites alongside with the waiting list. So that's how we'll sort of slowly start branching it out and scaling up the player base to continue the testing before we get to a full public beta.
Cindy's got a question about Wars.
Yeah, if you remember, you can submit, especially for Poker RPG and BC Wars, if you find issues, feel free to shoot an email to support@goldfire.me and we'll get it taken care of. I'll go ahead and look into that avatar issue after the broadcast.
Intangible asked, will gold be used on Casino RPG or points will stay? Gold and points are actually gold is actually going to become points. So when you want to use your gold in Casino RPG, you'll be able to buy casino points with gold in Casino RPG.
Right, so casino points are things that you can earn while playing that are generally used for, the more top tier things. So you can always earn everything that's in the game, but if you want to get access to some of those things a little more quickly, you can always use your gold from your GoldFire Network account. Looks like everyone just got disconnected.
Oh, that thing just...
I saw it, I'm guessing the counter's just messed up, but I saw it like counting down and then just disappeared.
Maybe we chased everybody away.
Yeah.
Everybody got fed up with us.
I think we'll do last call for questions. Try and keep it from going too long. And so we'll wait about 30 seconds for the lag. If anyone else has any questions, please shoot them in the chat. Happy to answer. And while we're waiting for that, I'll just take a moment to remind you all, we will be having another broadcast as usual 2 weeks from tonight. And the exciting news with that broadcast is that we will be at our new office. So we'll be giving a short little tour of the new office on the next show. Again, 2 weeks from tonight, same time, same place as usual. Be sure if you're not already following our live stream account, if you click follow on that, you'll get an email alert reminding you when the next broadcast is.
Actually have a window in the next office too.
Yeah,
Window to the outside. It's pretty nice.
Don't give away the secrets yet.
Okay, sorry.
Surprise.
No longer cave dwellers. A couple troglodytes in here.
All right. Well, looks Looks like that's the bulk of the questions, so we're going to wrap this up, and we will see you again in 2 weeks if we don't see you before on online. So please keep on doing amazing beta testing on Casino RPG, and yeah, we'll keep working hard and getting updates out. So thanks. Have a good evening.